Absolutely. Yeah, like, sorry.
Not throwing anyone under the bus, but. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Totally Bombed. I'm Jess, and today our guest is Doomer Duo, which I saw written on on one of their bios, which really intrigued me. But this is Mother of Ensh.
Mother of Ensh.
Mother of Ensh. I did it. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for coming and being on the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. We are stoked.
We were talking about this previously. I was a little confused because it says Mother of X Ensh, and you guys do separate stuff, but then you do stuff together. And so I was like, is it Mother of and Ensh? And no, Mother of Ensh, which I like better. That rolls off the tongue better.
As you said, the X is silent.
Yes, the X is silent.
It's all for marketing.
Perfect. So tell me a bit about your project and how you two started performing.
Yeah, well, I mean, we met in a songwriting group in the beginning of the pandemic, which was really great. It kept certainly me and probably yourself creative and doing things. And then from there, we really enjoyed each other's songs whenever we would like present, because we would present the songs to the group, and we just kind of went like, hey, why don't we try to make something together?
Exactly.
That's exactly it.
I have nothing to add to that.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. And I really, so I obviously I was doing research before the podcast, and I really appreciate the political nature of your music. Especially what was it, the most recent album, I think Celestial Doom 2. Yeah. A lot of free Palestine stuff in there, which I really appreciate, and which more artists would do nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of protest music feels like it's from a bygone era, but I think that, it's definitely relevant for
It's
our
coming back.
times.
It's coming back. The minute you know the art is getting good, the world is terrible. Like, I feel like
That's a good way of
Yes,
putting
a
it.
horrible piece of data, but it's true.
Yeah, I want to see like the stats on that. Like, just, it's a correlation, not causation. Good music does not cause bad times. Good music is bred at a bad times. Okay, so when we get started, we're going to first do some fast flops before we get into your guys' stories. So we're going to read some other stories of people that have flopped, okay? And these are from Reddit. If you have a story that you would like us to read on here, feel free to DM any of the socials, as well as check out our Reddit page where you can write it, and maybe another future performer will react to your story. Okay, so we'll do the shorter one first. This is from Violet Sings. So, singer here, obviously, I guess. I made the mistake of eating a granola bar right before starting my show. I was starving and just needed something quick. It was one of those nature bars, so super crumbly. When I got on stage, I felt a little choke happening suddenly. One of the pieces was stuck in my throat.
Those things are so dry.
I know, like not even water available. I was panicking, but I had to stay cool. I got through the song barely. The kicker, it was I Will Survive. I was not surviving. I was coughing, tears in my eyes, full on gasping for air in between lines. No one noticed. They just thought I was really emotional.
Oh, wow.
I think it's one of those things. Play it off.
We were just we in the lead up to the show, we were talking about this idea of like how much the audience actually knows about flopping and bombing and yeah, I mean, for something like that, I don't know. Yeah, eating before a show, like that's why I always at least like I fast for at least like 4 hours before a performance.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, yes, eating before a performance can be like life-changingly bad. And I say that because, when I was in high school, I sang and did like more opera type music. And my teacher was always like, you cannot eat a big meal before you perform because your diaphragm is going to be too sleepy and you're not going to have the same support. And what did I do? I immediately went out to like a Portuguese barbecue before a performance. And like, yeah, it was not a good show.
No.
like for sure, there is danger in eating before a performance, definitely.
And like if you eat something fatty, it's like for me, it's like I get acid reflux, and then also we're very energetic on stage, so like just that moving and all that motion
Just
gets things
jumbling it up.
rumbling.
Yeah.
So definitely like that's why it's like the big ritual. You don't eat before a set, and then you eat after the set, and it's like
It's
there's so
like
much,
a reward.
Exactly.
and you go and you get something. There's always a place that you
Yes.
go afterwards, you know, like a 24-hour place
Yeah.
probably. These days it's A&W.
Classic. No, fair. I mean, I do a lot of karaoke, and so all you're doing is eating and the performing. So me burping in the mic, that's just part of the process.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Karaoke, anything goes.
Anything
Yes,
goes.
I was going to say that's a different beast. Yes.
Okay, so we have one more. This one, their Reddit account is deleted. So it just says deleted. So
Nice.
it's anonymous. Once I was in a band that had 2 singers. One of them was great, and one of them was pretty bad, but had somehow bullshitted his way into being the lead. We tried arguing it, but it never worked, and we had to give up for the sake of actually practicing. In rehearsal, we all can play our parts fine, but this guy was not learning lyrics or learning them wrong despite promising he'll be okay at the gig. Gig day arrives. They do sound check and perform one of their songs, and he does good. He does good. So they think, oh, he finally learned everything. Until the time comes when they get on stage, they play their first song again from soundcheck. Everything's good until they get to the second song. Quickly becomes apparent that he'd only focused on that one song because when we went on to the next song, it was awful. He was forgetting words, singing out of key, and if we hadn't had our backup singer, we'd probably be kicked off the stage. There is nothing more embarrassing than seeing people genuinely grimace when your singer starts a verse after the intro sounds great. The rest of us played great, but he really brought us down and ruined what could have been a fun night. After that, we disbanded,
Oh, no.
mostly out of mercy for people who'd have to hear him again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever performed with anyone that you felt maybe wasn't keeping up?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's relatable, I feel.
Yeah. And, you know, like friends, when friends are involved, it's really challenging to like talk about things that are like
For
insecurities
sure.
and stuff. That's why I think like that band relationship, it's of course a friendship and a very important one, but I think it like takes on a different dimension because it's a lot of trust. And so I think especially when you do really trust someone, especially like vocals, like something like drums and vocals that like stand out like above anything else. Like guitar, you can kind of like, you know, sneak a couple bum notes in here and there. But, you know, like, yeah, it really has to be, I don't know. You have to either like really love the person and be okay with whatever's going to happen, or you have to really trust the person.
Practice.
Well, that's kind of the thing that was like standing out for me. I mean, it's one thing if like you need to rehearse a little bit more, but if everybody, and you know, if we're getting the accurate picture, if everybody practiced and showed up and everyone's doing great, and then there's like one guy who just can't get it together to learn his lines, it's like, okay, well, I mean, you know,
Why are you here?
yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, so time for the big question. Have you two ever totally bombed?
We have.
Yes.
Well, okay, so and like with the caveat, all right? So the caveat is like I've been doing music for a really long time. Mother, I've been doing music
Yes.
also for a really long time.
Yes.
There's a certain amount, again, going back to trust, there's a certain amount of like trust in ourselves that we have and in our abilities. So from our end, I other than like, you know, a little crack and a little flub here vocally, I don't think we've had like crazy flops, but more on the like sound engineer, venue / room technical side of things. That's where I think our biggest flop comes from.
And it's the hardest thing to predict because, right, if you're playing, especially sometimes you're playing in venues you've never been to before, those are like particularly hard. You don't know what the setup is. You don't know how it's going to sound. You don't know, like you kind of just got to go with what's given to you and like the music, the live music tech, which like shout out to techs. They're great. But there's like a lot of variables. So I often do find like it's the music part, the like sonic part that is like can be the hiccup sometimes.
Yeah, I think, okay, so for our album release for Celestial June, we played at the Baby G on June 11th, 2023.
It's burned in there.
And we really practiced, it was like a really important show. We had a lot of people come out. And
like,
that makes it worse.
Yeah, and like, can I just say, like, it was our first show ever. It was the first time we had performed together as Mother of Ensh.
Yes, yeah,
and a release of our first single for
Midnight Sun.
Midnight Sun for our like EP that we were releasing. Okay. So it was a big show, and like
no pressure.
A lot of people came out.
Yeah.
A lot of people came out that I'm very grateful for that, but I wasn't expecting that.
And we thought we did really well because, again, we trust each other, we trust ourselves. But we did get some feedback after the show about how loud it was.
Yes.
And that there was some, I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. There was some like sound / noise issues that just felt like they were just like unpleasant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like more than a few people were like, "Oh, it was great. It was really loud." Yeah. And like that they're saying like when your musician friends tell you, like when it's when it's that noticeable that you have a lot of people coming up being like, "It was great. It was really loud." You're like, "Okay, I get it. I understand. I'm sorry."
And speaking to that's really the barometer because usually people are just like, that was great. But when people start mentioning like a specific thing,
that's repeatable. Other people are saying it.
That's when we were like, well, I guess if we had to say that we totally bombed.
Yeah. And I don't know if I even like have that much footage. Like I can't remember the night. Like I don't know if I've ever really heard like songs from that night. So I don't even know what this really sounds like, but I'm like, I trust.
I feel like
everyone.
if it was that loud and you had footage of it, you probably couldn't hear the.
It's true.
It probably would.
Yeah.
So what do you guys like consider bombing then? Like if like you feel like technical difficulties, that's one of the biggest issues I've heard and seen doing shows and stuff like that, especially with venues. Like what if you were watching someone live on stage, what would you consider them finally being totally bombing, you think?
Yeah, again, this was like we were talking about in the lead up to to coming on the podcast. We were talking about what really counts as totally bombing, and I think ultimately it comes down to if it's noticeable by the audience, that is considered a bomb. When you're very young and you're early on in your career as a musician, you're like, oh my God, I did so bad. Or like, you know how you did and or like what you're capable of. And you're also more insecure. So you think you totally bombed when like the audience might not have noticed. But when you get more seasoned, if the audience notices, that's when you totally bombed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little hiccups here or there, whatever, those happen. And oftentimes literally nobody notices. But yes, it's when it's big enough. For me, that's like the litmus test. I'm like, when it's big enough that like I can tell something's gone awry. And then on top of that, I also think like kind of attitude has something to do with it because there are ways to have like graceful technical difficulties or just things, the amount of times we've had to step in and like banter with one another because the computer accidentally crashed or something got unhooked accidentally and we need a minute to hook it back up. Like there are ways to kind of like deal with what's happening. And like, I'm not saying it's easy. It does take rehearsal and it takes practice and trust in yourself. But when you're bombing, and then there's nothing more uncomfortable when you like see the person like start to get irritated about it and angry, and then you're like, oh no, because then you feel uncomfortable as the audience.
Yeah.
So I think like, and I've seen, you know, people have little flubs, little things that they've very gracefully just been acknowledged and like kept going on, and I'm like, great. It's fine. Because you're fine, like we're fine.
Exactly.
But when you're not fine, then the audience is like, oh shit, none of us are fine anymore. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of power in being on stage, and that young, unseasoned performers may not understand.
yeah, I think it's a good way of putting it for sure.
Yeah, and like you know, people only know what you show them.
It's true.
Yeah.
And things can be horribly wrong and the audience will know, but if you're spiraling, you kind of lose that faith that the audience has given you, not in a bad way, just like they're like they know, they see it, and like it's I think just also a very important life lesson is like you kind of like work through things.
We're human.
Yeah.
Things
Yeah.
go wrong. Like
Yeah.
part of the little hiccups I find is like the fun part of watching live shows.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like you don't get that from an album, you know?
Yeah, for sure. For
So
sure.
it's like I want to see you flub that note, and then
Yeah.
you keep going because that's what made the music sound a little human to begin with, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, like sorry.
Not throwing anyone under the bus, but
No, I think, the spontaneity of a live performance is what makes it a live performance.
Yes.
And yeah, even the concept of totally bombing can mean different things to different people in different contexts.
no, it's really true. Like, I do think like I loved you bringing up like younger, like unseasoned performers. I don't necessarily want to say younger because some people are just starting out in their 30s, but
Yeah.
it's like when they first go on, they think they have to be perfect, and so you don't have to be perfect. You just
Yeah.
have to be entertaining.
Yeah.
If that means there's a technical difficulty or something, and you're just like up there being like, oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, and like also like to that point, you there's different ways. You have to be entertaining, but you also just have to be really yourself. And there's different ways, like different people deal with different things in different ways. And like the very same thing that Mother was saying about, you know, like kind of like how to work through something. Like if you're kind of like an awkward introvert, you can use that to your advantage
sure.
too. You just like just be yourself, and like, but if you like get like anxious and nervous, you know, that could be who you are as well. But just the way you do it is always.
I mean, Louis Capaldi, like he performs and he has tics and he gets really anxious and has panic attacks, and he straight up has to be like, I gotta sit down for a minute, guys. Shaken, you know,
there's
and
an honesty to it.
you can like the power, like you said, like being on stage, like you control kind of what that audience can feel in that moment.
Yes.
And if you need them to feel sympathy for you, like fucking just do it.
Ask for it. Yeah.
Ask for it. Let them know.
Yes.
Let them know what you're going on. I always like to tell people, like, you know, when you're performing, like, authenticity is really important, but sometimes you're also still having to kind of play a character. So I always just say, like, be yourself ×3.
Yeah,
Like,
I like that.
You just kind of, you're just
The
turning
dial.
up. Yeah, you're just turning up
Yeah.
the dial. You're still you. You're just
Yeah.
like you on stage.
That's a great way of putting it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect way.
So have you guys individually ever bombed?
Oh yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, so much. Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's just part of the performance.
Yes.
I was telling Mother of in my early 20s I was with my band. I was in a pop punk band called Lacerda, and I had a series of like fairly minor surgeries that I got prescribed Percocets for, and I got addicted to those Percocets, and I was taking them recreationally. I was taking them recreationally and performing with them, and that's when like I totally bombed, like totally. At this one show in Hamilton, and it was awful. I was just all over the place. I like wasn't singing well. I was like, the energy was really off. Also, like in a way that was really noticeable to the audience, where I was being kind of like confrontational, not in a good way, because I can be sometimes still, but I flushed the rest down the toilet. No, I got rid of the perks because totally bombing got me clean and sober.
That was your rock bottom.
not sober, but just not on perks. Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Actually, a lot of the stories we've heard, a lot of their totally bomb moments was when they're like either so drunk they're, or on something, because, you can't always, sometimes you have to be in your right mind. I mean, I'm even sober for this. Aren't you proud, Mom?
Wink.
Totally. And I definitely think like bombing and those little flubs, that is like a part of just learning to be a performer. It's just, it happens. It happens to everybody. We're all in the same boat. It's totally fine. I will definitely, I've definitely had a few little flubs here and there. I will say, so most of my like early performing experience came when I was in high school, and again doing more like classical kind of performances and more just classical music. And part of that would be that I would sometimes do like competitions, and you would have to follow the rules and regulations. You had to sing like certain amount of songs, right? One in French, one in one this style, one musical style, and like present those. And there was definitely, I could probably relate to that first singer and those first stories that you told me, because there would always be one song that I just would not have time to practice because my time management skills were terrible in high school. So I would like practice the songs that I really liked, and then the song that I found really difficult or didn't want to sing, I would like push to the back burner. And there was definitely one competition where I just no idea what was happening in that song. Like, it's just so funny. I remember fighting for my life. I was like trying to follow like the piano. I was like, maybe he put the melody in the piano somewhere and I could just follow that along. And it was in another language. And it was like, I could see the judges were like,
what are you doing?
Oh, that's a horrible way of being judged. Oh my God.
And it was so jarring because you have these people sitting there and they're writing notes. So they're watching you and they're writing notes, and like, and
this
you're
is
like,
why she bombed.
Writing down. Oh my God.
And then, and anyway, yeah. So, that happened. And I think that was for like an exam too. And so I remember, a few weeks later, they mail you like your score and your results. And I like took them to my teacher, and she was like, "Am I going to need a stiff drink for this?"
Your teacher said that.
Because she knew. I mean, she was there with the sheet music, playing the piano, being like, whatever you're doing up there is not what this man wrote on like the sheet music. So
I think that's actually so funny because you could have been awesome up there doing whatever you were doing. It just wasn't it wasn't the song.
It's a technical challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a technical challenge.
So,
Yeah.
And
so it's like a different form of bombing.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was fun. And it definitely stressed the importance of just like, I will say that experiences like that really emphasized to me how important it is to like know your lyrics so well, because sometimes when you go on stage and you do get those nerves, like you forget the most random things, like the things that you were like, no, I know that so well, like in this
like
song.
Like the timing of A Few of the Brave took 2
Yeah, like
there's a line in one of our songs.
And there's parts where like, there's just parts in our songs where I'm like, rhythmically, I'm going to need to know this inside out and backwards so that on stage, when I might not be able to hear every single part of the track, like I'm still going to come in right. I'm still going to do my parts right. It definitely was like, you better know this shit inside and out, because at some point your brain might just like wander away while you're performing, and then it's all muscle memory. So,
yeah, it has to be muscle memory.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, yeah, rehearsing and really, again, goes back to trust, but like really having like all of those things down so that when you do fail, because you'll fail, you can fail upwards, right?
Yes.
Like Barry Weiss, fail upwards.
Yes. Success is pre-genius.
Oh man, like that. I feel like that's all just part of like the art of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like the art and performance is just like what you do when things don't work out. Like you have to be resourceful. You have to. I've seen like people forget their lyrics on stage, but sometimes you can't tell because they just say other lyrics. They're still keeping up with the melody. They're still whatever, or they're repeating the first verse or whatever. You know, you just figure it out. You just got to have steps in place for those mistakes. Commit to the bit.
Totally. Completely. Surrender.
Tell everyone where, like, feel free to use this time to promote yourselves. Let people know where they can find all of you.
It's Mother of X Ensh, ENSH.
The X is silent.
The X is silent.
The X is silent.
We are two separate artists who still create and release music under our own individual names, but we also have this very strong and loving collaboration. We are best friends who perform music together, and we're on all of the socials individually.
Yes, individually. So you could find me at motherof.wave.
And myself at Ensh, ENSH.flac, FLAC, on Instagram and TikTok.
All the socials.
All the socials.
And you can find our music streaming everywhere that streams music. We have 2 EPs, Celestial Doom 1 and Celestial Doom 2.
The one is silent.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's true. We didn't call it Celestial Doom 1.
It's implied now that there's a sequel.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
But that's where the Doomer bit comes from. We just, we felt a lot of
existential angst.
I mean, who doesn't nowadays?
Exactly. Yes. And we thought, like it was a good outlet for us creatively and emotionally. And also, like, we felt a bit of a responsibility educationally. So as we've gone on, our music has, as you noticed, gotten more political. So it's a pretty, that's something else that's very strong in our collaboration and that we talk about with each other a lot and reflect on a lot. So that element is super important. And people can...
Yeah.
I think that's great. Like I said, like the whole political aspect, I think art is inherently political. So anytime I see an artist trying to be apolitical, I'm like, I bet you use Suno. Like, So yeah.
And I should add also that people can go to YouTube and check out the many, many music videos that we have. And our YouTube is actually a Mother of X Ensh YouTube page. So that is our joint social media that
so
folks can check out.
Find them. Yeah. And we, for the last EP, Celestial Doom 2, we did a music video for every track. So that was very fun. And you should definitely go check that out.
Oh gosh, that must have been a lot of work.
It was.
Yeah, like one music video is crazy, let alone every track.
It was only 3 songs, but still, it was an undertaking for sure.
Yes, we ended up shooting 4 music videos in like 5 months.
Yeah.
Like shooting, well, I mean, we're very lucky. Malenko's brother has helped us out tremendously in shooting and editing, so it wasn't all on us.
Exactly.
But...
Well, that's why I like a video format, because see, if you bomb during the video, you can fix it in post.
Yes, exactly.
You just fix it, crop that part out, zoom in, add music over top. It's fine. It's fine.
Looks cinematic. It's just,
It was the style I was going for.
Exactly.
Experimental. Well, thank you both so much for coming on.
Thank you. This has been so fun.
So fun.
Yeah. All the links to everything will be in the description so that everyone can find everything really, really easy. So thank you all so much. And hopefully you don't have any bombs in the future. But if you do, I know you'll be great with them.
We'll run right back here and let you know.
Yeah. Return customers.
Yes.
This episode comes out on the day of our next show.
Yes.
I wonder if that's a good sign or a bad sign.
I've been like speaking of potentially.
yeah.
So if you want to see us totally bomb and you happen to be listening to this the day it comes out, Wednesday, April 8th at Houndstooth with
In Toronto.
in Toronto with Zucacia. It's going to be great.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Don't forget to check out our Reddit if you have a flop story you want us to read on the show. And definitely check out all of Totally Bomb's social medias and all that stuff. We'll have new episodes every Wednesday for this season. Lots of performers coming on, different types of performers, which I'm excited for. Thank you so much, Mother of Ensh. And we'll see you all next week.
Thank you.
Bye.